Israel and the people of Palestine. The BDS campaign must be part of that wider strategy. As painful and heart-wrenching as it is to watch on our television screens day and daily, the Palestinian people do not need our tears right now. They need our voices. They need our cries of outrage, and they need our shouts of solidarity. They need the global anti-war movement to speak with one voice and simply say to Israel, stop. Stop the siege, stop the bombings, and stop the slaughter. We must say ceasefire and ceasefire now.
The Tories will seek to push it through, but what's interesting, there's even some Tories now who are voting against this bill. Tomorrow, as has been said, I'm sure, the South Africans will be going to The Hague. Jeremy Corbyn is accompanying them. For those of you who've read the evidence that they've submitted to the ICC, International Criminal Court, you will see that their case is irrefutable. It goes through, it examines and confirms the war crimes that have been committed, the denial of water, fuel and medical resources, the forcing of people from their homes and their homelands, and the indiscriminate use of weapons to murder civilians. The case, I believe, will stand up. And when it stands up, it will give us even further evidence that we need to demonstrate the use of boycott, disinvestment and sanctions against regimes that abuse human rights across the globe. That's why it's important that we oppose this legislation, but if it goes through, we secure a commitment that after the next general election, it will be repealed and we restore the right to people. We restore the right to people to take on these human rights abusers.
Just recently, we lobbied the investment managers of our pension scheme to divest from companies involved in the ongoing assault on Gaza and Israel's illegal occupation of the West Bank. If this legislation is passed, it would be illegal for public sector unions, for example the local government pension scheme, to do the same. It is outrageous, and it attempts to prevent workers from deciding how their pensions should be invested. It is our right to boycott. That this government has included universities in the scope of this bill is no surprise. They want to clamp down on protest, on free speech, on inclusivity, and a fundamental respect for each other. And I will end with this. Whatever the vote tonight, tomorrow is an important day. Tomorrow, Israel will be required to defend itself at the World Court. Who will hold public hearings in a case brought by our comrades in South Africa of genocide against the Palestinian people. It was boycott that starved oxygen from apartheid in South Africa. Millions of people acting globally are in solidarity with the South African people. It is the power of people that delivers justice, not governments. So friends, it is cold, but keep marching, keep fighting for the Palestinian people. Solidarity.
We are all Palestinians! In the thousands, in the millions! We are all Palestinians! In the thousands, in the millions! We are all Palestinians!
My name's Saleh. I'm a social media activist. I've been interviewing people at these protests, just kind of asking them why was it important for them to be here and to attend the protests. And we're here today specifically because of the anti-boycott bill, which our government is revising for the third time today. While we are out here, they are talking about it in Parliament. And this bill is really dangerous and potentially could be really damaging to public bodies like universities, public sector pension funds, local councils who want to divest their money away from Israel for ethical reasons or from any, like it's not directly related to the Palestinian liberation movement. However, it is like that is the main reason why it is being revised. It will also affect movements like climate change, any human rights campaigns in general. So it's really important that we protest this and that we protect our right to boycott. I think that a lot of organisations and like a lot of people only speak the language of money. Like that's the only way that they'll listen if we take away money and we're affecting their business as usual. And boycotting has been used in this country for decades and decades for human rights movements, for important movements in general. So it does make a difference. It really does make a difference, and it's already been making a difference. Otherwise they wouldn't be so scared. What we're seeing is our government, they're terrified, you know, they're terrified. That's why they are trying to pass this bill again.